That is glacier melt coming down the mountain. Hey guys, Randy here, and welcome aboard the Seabee Traveler channel. Well, I managed to get probably, 3 hours of sleep, maybe. I drove as far as I could, found this little road, and I was able to tuck in behind some trees just to stay hidden a little bit. But we are only about 45 minutes away from Telluride, Colorado. It is a really, really pretty town, but it's real busy. So what I thought we would do is just probably just drive through town and then go all the way back to Bridal Veil Falls. It's a pretty drive, and yeah, it's a beautiful place back there just to stop and take a look. But before we get there, I wanted to stop at this really neat little town called Placerville. Now, when I was in the military, I spent 2 weeks there. I was home on leave. Well, I was on leave, and my wife at the time had family that was living here. And it was my first introduction to Colorado, the mountains of Colorado. And as a kid, I didn't travel much from Quartzsite, so other than going up to Pine Top, Lakeside area, Sholo. But when I got to see these mountains in Colorado, it was like, wow, this is so nice up here. And it was probably, I was almost out of the Navy at the time. But the time I spent there, we did travel into Telluride. And I can tell you, Telluride has changed a lot since I visited Placerville, and that was back in 1990. But Placerville, it was a town that started like back in the late 1800s. It was a mining camp, and it was named for the placer gold mines that were on the San Miguel River and Leopard Creek. And by 1919, they were really starting to be a big producer of vanadium, which they used in the steel to make like high strength alloys like bridges, automobile parts. And by 1940, they produced almost 4 million pounds of that mineral. And then later on, after the mining industry and the timber industry started declining, it kind of turned into a supply and shipping center for a lot of the ranchers that kind of moved in. All right, so right now we're on the 62, and where that truck turned is where we're going to be turning. That's Highway 145. Look at this beautiful. This is like set in a little valley between these mountains, and then you've got the San Miguel River running right next to the road. It is beautiful. But Placerville still has some of the original buildings. Yeah, this is one of the turnoffs, but we'll turn in here. But it has like I think 3 of the original buildings still there. And that's mostly what I wanted to take a stop and take a look at. Why, it hasn't changed much at all. Of course, there's not much room to change, but it still looks the same. All right, let me get in here, find a parking spot, and then make a quick little stop. Maybe we'll check in the store. That used to be the M&M Mercantile. There's an old schoolhouse, and there's an old stone garage here too somewhere. So we'll see if we can't find those as well. All right, boy, it's still called M&M Mercantile. Back in the railroad days, when it's like a railroad depot. The story I heard was that This was a location of a commercial from like the late 70s, maybe early 80s. But they had, it was like a beer commercial, and they had some bicycle riders coming in and rest their bikes up along this building. I kind of remember something like that. All right, let's go check out the store. One thing I've noticed for sure is, since this is on the way to Telluride, oh hi, back there stocking up, but on the way to Telluride, there's a lot of people stopping in to get some burritos. So I'm gonna stop and get a breakfast burrito, I think. Look at these old shelves. That's kind of what you'd expect in a small town market like this. We got some spaghetti sauces. Place not bad for a population of 146 people. But I'd imagine this is a place that a lot of people stop when to work and from work. Get away from that busy Telluride. All right, let's head back outside. Thank you. Somewhere back there, along that creek, is a hot springs. It's kind of in a cave. Went back there one time. We'll walk across the street. This is a busy road. Everybody must be going to work and Telluride, because it all seems to be going one direction. Look at this. What a beautiful mountain creek. Lots of fly fishing. Just beautiful. All right. Yeah, but if I remember, that hot springs was on private property, and the new owners, they closed it off. You had to get like special permission to go in there. You had to turn the light on to get back to the the water. All right, let's drive around just a little bit. See if the old church is still up there. I think that was post office, I believe. All right, so this is it's called Front Street. I think this is your post office. This whole building here? No. Yeah, post office right there. What do we have here? I don't know what that business is. Some sort of shop, it looks like. Just up here on the left is, I think it was the old schoolhouse, and then a church, if I'm right. Hopefully there's something for us to some storyboards or something up there for us to look at. But all right, well, I think I'll get parked here. A little basketball court. It's kind of nice little area right here, isn't it? It's all manicured. Cool. All right, let's take a little stroll. How cool is that? 1908 to 1960, Placerville Schoolhouse. Oh, look at this, a bee cabin. If the bee. If the bee disappeared off the face of the earth, man, we only have 4 years left to live. Albert Einstein. Looks like they're keeping it in good shape. All right. If you don't have cell service, try calling. It's a nice park. A basketball court. Dedicated to the Utes, the people who came before us, the Nuche, who traversed the San Juans without hindrance and occupied these mountains for as long as stories have been told. Chief Aweigh and Chapita. But this would be this would be such a nice place to retire in the summer. It's probably 50 degrees right now. All right, well, I kind of hit the old buildings. Up on the hill, which is behind us now, is where the residential part of town is. It's not a lot to see up there. You can kind of see off to the left. But anyways, all right, so next stop's going to be Telluride. Well, Bridal Veils. I think we're just going to drive through the town of Telluride. But we'll see if it's really busy. You know, back when I was here in like 1990, it still kind of had a little bit of a small town feel, but you could tell even back then that it was growing. And big movie stars started moving in, and prices started really going up on the housing around here and in Telluride. And it's always been a ski town, which is kind of nice because you can ski right. You take a lift and you can ski right into the town, if I remember right.
Got a cooler in the back and the windows down. Old guitar, ride a shotgun as we leave this town. Cool breeze whipping through my flannel sleeve. A mountain road's calling and I ain't gonna leave. No destination, just a full tank ride. That sun hanging low and the world open wide. We're rolling high on a mountain line, radio up and we're feeling fine. Wheels turn slow on a winding climb, freedom in the air and we're taking our time. Sky so blue and the pines so tall, yeah, we're singing like we got it all. On a clear, cool day in the sweet July, yeah, we're rolling high. Boots on the dash and a smile on my face. Every mile feels like a brand new place. That creek runs wild like a country song. We're chasing daylight all day long. No rush, no clock, just a ridge and a view. With the beat in my chest and the road running true. We're rolling high on a mountain line, radio up and we're feeling fine. Wheels turn slow on a winding climb, freedom in the air and we're taking our time. Sky so blue and the pines so tall, yeah, we're singing like we got it all. On a clear, cool day in the sweet July, yeah, we're rolling high. dust and a full tank clean. We ain't looking back, we just ride that breeze. Let the road write the memories. We're rolling high on a mountain line. Radio up and we're feeling fine. Sunset gold as the stars align. Hearts wide open and the stars in time. Sky so blue and the pines so tall. Yeah, we're singing like we got it all. On a clear, cool day in the sweet July. Yeah, we're rolling high. Oh, rolling high.
All right, well, I saw this little overlook. Thought we might stop, take a look, see what some of these storyboards say. Got a pretty view of the creek below. Beautiful river. Let's see. You are here. Welcome to San Juan Skyway, 236-mile loop drive through some of the most spectacular and rugged scenery in the nation. Let's come down here. Ooh, San Miguel. Oh, wow. San Miguel Valley bank robbery. June 24, 1889. Butch Cassidy. Nat Warner. Who was the Wild Bunch? From 1889 to 1901, the Wild Bunch was a loosely organized outlaw gang led by Butch Cassidy. Bank robbers, stagecoaches, trains. Fancy looking group. Across the San Miguel River are remnants of the Rio Grande Railroad. Very little railroad was straight and almost none was level. Boy, look at that house up there. What a view. You can see there's a couple going up that road, it looks like. Hydraulic placer mining. I was never a big fan of that. As the hill was washed to bedrock, ore-bearing gravel was fed into the wooden sluice box. Yeah, that just kind of destroyed the landscape. All right. It's not too far up here. All right, well, we're getting into, oh, look at that guy on that e-bike, on that bike path over there. He's got that pedal assist going. Man, he is cruising. All right, we're getting into the outskirts of Telluride. This used to be a summer camp for the Ute Native American tribe, and they called it the Valley of Hanging Waterfalls. And in a little while, you'll see why at the other end of town here. And it used to be called, this used to be called Columbia. And then they changed it to Telluride because they were trying to let everybody know about the Telluride ore that was here. Wow, see how busy it can get here already. But this is a huge ski resort now. Go ahead. All right, well, you can see this. It's kind of it has a quaint feel to it, but try and buy a house here. I don't think this is probably California prices up here. And there seems to be a lot of construction going on too. Man, how much more are they gonna expand here? I think you can see a lot of nice houses. And looks like there's a lot of people have to park up on the street. And I bet there's a ton of like rentals, Airbnb, that sort. Because I mean, they get tourism in the winter from the snow, the skiing, and then they also get tourism from the summer too. People like me coming up to visit, see the beauty up here. You can hear the birds chirping. All right, we're just about to get into the main part of town. This is where Butch Cassidy, the San Miguel Bank was here when they robbed it. It does still, at this part of town, does have that Old West feel. It does remind me a lot of Silverton. But I would, personally, Silverton is more to my liking because it is, it's kind of kept its small, the quaint feeling. It hasn't got the big tourist feel that this has now. This is probably really pretty in the winter. A lot of shops gonna open up. They have their planters in the middle of the street. Well, here's that other construction going on. Well, they're getting a lot of work. Getting a lot of work done. Oh, looks there's some pipes, so they're maybe putting in a sewer line or something down here. And I like how they have that this middle lane is meant for, just like a lot of the other small towns, meant for like vendors to park in the middle of the street and unload. It looks like we have a backhoe up here doing some work, holding us up. And this is part of the reason I just like kind of driving through town and then just keep going straight. It opens up and there's a trailhead at the very end of the road and a really pretty waterfall. I'm anxious to see how much water there is because there hasn't been a ton of snow in southern Colorado. I think it's less than normal for the last 2 years. So I'm kind of, I just want to see how much water is coming off of it. Hopefully there is water. I don't want to come down here and have no water coming off the waterfall. You can kind of see as we're getting towards the end of this road, it just dead ends up here. But we're heading out to Bridal Veil Falls. You'll be able to get a good view of hopefully water falling down a mountain. And it's right next to like an old hydroelectric plant. It's up on a cliff. It was built back in 1907. I thought I saw water. There is some. It's kind of hard to see with this camera, but there's a parking area up here. Look at this this is an old mill. It's the Pandora mill. It's contaminated by heavy metals, so they're trying to do some reclamation and clean it up a little bit. It was one of the only metal mills that stayed open during World War II, because the government had a lot of them shut down, but this one was able to stay open. And this is a really nice part of town. So if you're ever in Telluride, you got to make sure you come down here. Don't stop in town. Keep on going. The parking lot's not huge. Looks like it's kind of full too. I think it's probably probably 7:30 in the morning, so a lot of people out getting early morning hike in. Well, let's see. Looks like there might be a spot down there by that blue car. No, there's restrooms there. And everybody's parked at just the wrong distance. Or I can't park in between some of these. But I think there's one down at the very end. Try and grab that one before somebody else comes in. Because we're just going to do a quick little walk around here. I want to just show you a good view. See if I can get the camera out and zoom in. Look at that view. Zoom in on that fall a little bit. And you can see that's where the trailhead is. Right ahead of us. Base of Falls, 1.2 miles, power plant. Wow. Bridal Veil Trail. So that's the falls. Wow, you can go way up there. Bridge. We're at 9,000 feet right now. To the base of Bridal Veil Falls is 9,840 feet. Wow, just look how beautiful this is. Town, not so much anymore. Not so much, but wow. I don't know if you can see that building way up there at the top of that waterfall. I hear a lot of water running. Look how turquoise that water is. That is glacier melt coming down the mountain. There's a bridge over there. But this is really the reason I came down here. Sheer cliffs. I'm not going to hike up there today. I don't have nearly enough time, but this is what you're looking at. There's bears out there too. I wanted to come up here and get a little bit better view of the mill. Yeah, maybe I have to drive down there. Looks active, so you can't get out there, get on there. All right, I think I will head back into town, give up a space for somebody who might do some hiking.
Wheels are rolling on the 2-lane blacktop. Dust kicking high, won't let this heart stop. Friends beside me, laughter fills the air. Chasing sunsets, we're going anywhere. Wide open roads and a sky full of stars. Living our dreams while we travel afar. The world keeps calling, we can't stay still. Wandering souls with a restless will. Stopped in a ghost town, not a soul in sight. Rusty old signs in the pale daylight. Echoes of the past in the creak of the door, telling the tales of those here before. Wide open roads and a sky full of stars. Living our dreams as we travel afar. The world keeps calling, we can't stay still. Wandering souls with a restless will. Camping out by a fire under endless skies. Fiddle tunes play as the moon starts to rise. Dreams as big as the mountains far away. Tomorrow's a promise of another day. Morning comes with the first golden rays. Packing up gear, hitting highways. Every mile we drive, there's a story to tell. Freedom's a song, and we know it well.
All right, well, that's going to do it for Telluride. We're heading out of town now, but there is one town that I want to stop by. It kind of caught my eye. It's heading back home, and it's on the way, so it is going to be worth the stop. Just from the little bit of the research that I did, it's got some pretty cool history, and it's called, the name of the town is Rico, Colorado. So I'm glad it's on the way, and yeah, I'm heading back to Arizona. Yahoo! It is going to be hard to leave this part of this beautiful, beautiful part of Colorado. I really enjoyed my trip through here, and also that going up through Silverado, Mesa Verde. That was an amazing trip along the $1 Million Highway, 550. That was truly a really cool experience. So remember to click that like button, subscribe if you haven't. It's free and it's easy to do, and also leave comments. I really do like to hear from you. I like to hear stories, some of the places I've been that you may have grown up in as a kid or visited with family. It's always fun to read those. So yeah, just hit that notification bell. That'll remind you when I put a new video out, and you don't miss videos like this. And that all does, it all helps. It helps the channel grow, and it helps me to get out and do more videos like this. So I really appreciate all of your help. All right, so not too far out of town is the turnoff to get down so we can start heading home, and then we'll hit that cool town of Rico. I'm excited to see that. From the street views and all that, it looked like a really cool place to stop, and kind of in my wheelhouse, stuff I like to do. Check out a museum there, and looks like some old structures we're gonna maybe get to check out as well. All right, we are headed to Rico, and it's a little bit less than 40 minutes, so it's not a bad drive, and it looks like it's going to be another really, really pretty drive. I just can't get used to this. Won't be long. This afternoon I'll be back into the dry, hot deserts. I'm not looking forward to that, but I am looking forward to this drive till we get there. This is a good view. Oh, just look how beautiful. These wide open plains. Got some wildflowers in the prairie areas. It's probably really, really cool place for spring bloom, huh? You know, this whole corridor, we're on the, I think they call it the San Juan Skyway. And that's like a 236-mile loop. It kind of starts like in Cortez, and then you work your way over to Durango, up through Silverton, Ridgeway. Then you kind of end up in Placerville, where we were at earlier, and then to Rico, where we're headed now, to Dolores, and then back down to Cortez. So that is it's a beautiful drive. You travel along the Highway 550, that beautiful drive, and then you go back down towards Placerville. So it would be a really, really awesome kind of a round trip, and I'll bet that would be an amazing, amazing drive in the fall. That may be something I have to think about in the fall, is maybe doing that loop.
Got my boots on the gas, a map in my hand. Seabee Traveler's ready, we're gonna see this great land. Through ghost town echoes and highways wide, with the world in my rear view and you by my side. Rolling with the traveler, free as the breeze, chasing those sunsets through the rustling trees. From starlit skies to campfires aglow, life's an open highway where we're bound to go. Oh, the canyon winds whisper and the mountains call. Through valleys and deserts, we've seen it all. Every mile's a story, every turn's a surprise. Epic views ahead under these endless skies. Rolling with the traveler, free as the breeze, chasing those sunsets through the rustling trees. From starlit skies to campfires aglow, life's an open highway where we're bound to go. We'll stay in a place where the camping is free. Wake to the dawn, hear the freedom ring. With every star that lights our way, the road keeps calling, it's where we'll stay. Saw a ghost town fading in the desert dust. Every cracked in creek told a tale of rust. We keep rolling through the world so wide. The Seabee Traveler spirit is our lifelong guide. Rolling with the traveler, free as the breeze, chasing those sunsets through the rustling trees. From starlit skies to camp place where the camping is free. Wake to the dawn, hear the freedom ring. With every star that lights our way, the road keeps calling, it's where we'll stay.
All right, we are just about to Rico. Kind of a neat little town, I think. Mostly because it's like an old silver mining town from the 1890s, and it had around 5,000 people at its peak in 1892 when they had the railroad came through. But yeah, after the silver panic, it kind of switched over to, here is outskirts, we're 8,900 feet. But after the silver panic, it kind of switched over to zinc and copper. Check this out on the right. All right, that's our first stop. Oh, and this building with the mural on it too. Yeah, we got to check these out. That's a pretty cool mural, huh? The turtles playing. A lot of different artists there. Looks like Jimi Hendrix, maybe. Michael Jackson. It's probably Willie Nelson in there. I like that. That's neat. Let's take a look at these storyboards over here. See what this bad boy was all about. Some sort of processing. Well, they're missing the storyboard. The Atlantic Cable Mine. R.C. Darling discovered the mine property in 1878. The ore was concentrated in a blanket deposit within the Leadville Aweigh limestone. So that building right there looks like. Wow. So this, I just saw the sign, visit Historic Rico Museum. Look at that ladder. Get you up into that little door. Here's a map of Rico. Established 1879. See, this is where we're at. Dolores River runs right by it. Rico, Colorado. The Rico area was originally inhabited by natives, including Utes. In the 1700s, Spanish explorers were in the area. In 1833, trappers, Spanish smelters. A lot of history in these mountains. You see, it looks like straight ahead of us is the main street, main town. Some older buildings up there I see too. We'll walk around up there. What a beautiful day, man. All right, so I think since it's such a small little town that we'll just make a quick drive through. Looks like everything's up here on the right. Wow, look at that building. It's collapsed. Probably a lot of snow collapsed that. Look at this little slice of history. Wow. Wow, look at these old, there's a museum, so that's the museum we're gonna go to. Yeah, all the older buildings are over here on the right. Look at that one. So, all right, what I'm gonna do is just make a quick little U-turn and then park probably across the street from the museum. All right, where's that museum at? Wow, this is a cool little town. Looks like a pretty old rock building here on the right, as well as a mercantile building. All right, I think I'll park right here, right underneath these aspen. Oh, out walking a dog too. Look at that. I saw those up there too. We'll have to take a drive up there. Enterprise Bar and Grill, liquor. This definitely has that old mining town feel. Since 1892, Enterprise Bar and Grill. Wow. It's right on the main road, heading home. See, there's the it says museum, May through September. Not sure where the sign is pointing to. How neat is this? Theater, cafe. The building that sign's pointing to looks like it's closed down. It's a CPA building in there. A really cool sandstone brickwork. Oh, there's the Rico Museum, right there. Doesn't look very big. Take a quick little gander in there. Rico Telephone Company.
Not me.
Not you, I won't get you. She's nice. She didn't want to be filmed. I don't blame her. All right, Rico's mining history. Early 1860, a few hardy prospectors risked coming into the valley. Oh, look at these guys. What's this say? Precipitous decline shortly after the zenith. So it dropped down to 811 people when the silver panic began. I just love these models. These guys do such an amazing job with the detail. Just look at that. From the terrain all the way to the... Oh, look at that. There it is. Built in 1902, the Pro Patria Mill. Propetria Mill. Oh, and there's a picture showing they're pointing to it. Oh, that's cool looking at old pictures like that. Look at these guys. Hard working. Pausing to take a picture. Got some assaying stuff. Well, these OGs in there. Taking a break. Got lots of mining equipment here. Look at that old stove. A couple of them. Oh, there's a fancy looking one. Wow. Still in use. They still use that one. Oh, that's the mercantile store that's across the street that we saw. Wow, that was loud. That was loud out there. That's a cool old picture. Some more models. They keep the door open for keep it cool in here. It's cute little breeze blowing through. Impossible achievement. Height of Rico's railroad days. Oh, look at that. The truck fell into the train. He was dumping a load. Oh, man. The depot. Wow, look at that trestle. 5-tier. Oh, this is 1891. It's similar to the one between Telluride and Rico. That pellet woman. The woman with the fighting heart. She was a Broadway star. Moved out here, married. He was a lawyer, then into a mining engineer. In 1940, Betty was elected to the Colorado State Legislature. Wow. All right. Well, exhibits upstairs. It's a little bit bigger than I thought, sitting outside. Wow, look at this. Is that a model? Oh, hey, look at this picture. No. Silver Creek flooded to a width of 200 feet. Furniture. Historic view. All in all, doesn't look like it's changed much. Wow. Look at this model train set. Lots of detail in there too. So it's looks like it's based off of those pictures. And look at this, an even bigger one. That's a busy train station there. Wow, got a river running through it. That is such an amazing job. All right, let's see. The acid plant incident. August 1st, 1946, President Truman created the Atomic Energy Commission so it could buy all the weapons-grade uranium. Johnny Carnifex and the sidekick Roy Lauder were successful in forcing the closure of the plant. All right, so it looks like these two held the plant manager at gunpoint, trying to force the plant to stop polluting the air and the water. And when they were eventually captured or taken into court, they couldn't make bail, so the mayor did it. They didn't have to spend any time in jail. And the plant shut down just after that, so it must have worked. Pioneer Forest Ranger. Oh, look at that. Look at that car on the rails. He's got a donkey. Kind of reminds me of Oatman, Arizona. All right, what's over here? Some Native American, look at that shelter. It's hard to see with the glare. Charlie Yellowman. Many sheep herders operating on the San Juan National Forest surrounding. Oh, they grew their wool. Look at those moccasins, that is so cool. But they grew the wool, raised sheep and used the wool to make their blankets. Oh, that is so cool. Look, see, she's making some rugs. 1874, the youths were put into 3 reservations. Wow, look at that. Wow, look at that. It's all leather. Wow, how beautiful. That is so decorative. I like that. Picture? Is that a picture looks like? Oh, look at this old wash tub. Oh, here we go. Here's a little area for sewing. Looks like, let's see what this says. This quilt of upholstery scraps. It shows how nothing was wasted. They used all the material they needed to get these things, quilts going. Oh, what do we have here? Oh, looks like parts of the old buildings. Wow, look at that. Ah, cool. All right, let's head back down. Look at, oh, hey, that's just like the one we saw down by Silverton. It's kind of like that. Wow, what a neat museum. Oh, whoa, I didn't see this before. It's for riding the rails. Oh, they found it in the dark bowels of the courthouse. It's probably used by a manager of some sort, supervisor. All right, thank you. Wow, what a wonderful host, Dee. Giving me a lot of information. It was fun talking to her. All right, well, there's the truck. We're gonna drive up to the courthouse. It's by the white building, the church. So you saw in there that's the remodeled courthouse. So let's go take a drive up there real quick. I don't know why I decided to walk. I mean to drive. There's that old building. A lot of these buildings are still here from, you could see in those pictures. But it's just a short little trip. I probably could have used the walk. Wow, what a picturesque drive this is. That looks awesome. The mountains with the clouds. The courthouse, old courthouse, and the old church. We're going to take a look at both of these. Wow, look at that old church. All right, let me get parked. Get this last little bit of this cool old town. Boy, what a scenic church up in the mountains. When I was talking to Dee at the museum, she was telling me that the church was actually for sale, the building, and a private owner was going to buy it and make a house out of it. But the town was actually able to purchase it because that's an original church. It was built in the 1893, I think she said. So and then they're trying to get the funding to figure out what they're going to do with it. And then I don't know for sure, I'm guessing this may have been like the pastor's house, something like that. It's got satellite now and solar. And then we saw the remodeling, the bricks from when they remodeled the courthouse. And this is the courthouse here. And that old mill got my eye, and then the museum. Met Dee, and she retired from the VA. Let's go take a look at the front here. Courthouse. Look at that. I see a plaque. National Registry of Historic Places by Department of Interior. Wow, that is some awesome stoneworking, carving. How many people have walked down these stairs because they're in trouble? All right, there's a truck. What a cool little town. All right, well, I think that's gonna do it for here. Yeah, I gotta head back home. I gotta get to work, and then, yeah, it's been such a fun and amazing trip. It's hard to believe. But yeah, look at this. One last look through the town. Just kind of goes to show you, when you see an old town like this, slow down a little bit. Take your time. You might find something interesting. I sure as heck did. All right, well, that is going to do it. So I'm going to sign off, and just remember, never say goodbye. Always see you later.